Hey Saber fans, this is Grey Paladin, and based on my last poll, apparently everyone wants to know my thoughts on Crimson Dawn. So, my experience with Crimson Dawn, I've purchased 5 sabers, and my first saber was the Herald, and then after that I got a mystery box, and in that mystery box came the Logan, as an all black hilt. After that, I went and ordered the Antares, and this came with the. This is the first saber that I got that had the RGBX Eco Smooth Swing core. Now, I take that back. I gave the Herald and the Logan away to my nephews for Christmas, and I ended up putting the RGBX cores in those sabers, but I ordered them from Dark Wolf, the cores, put those in there and sent them away for Christmas. But this was the first saber for myself that had the RGBX Smooth Swing core. More on that later. Then my next acquisition was the Proffie Shade V2 excellent saber. And once I purchased this and discovered that the pommel had a coupler, then I purchased a gray shade, Neo shade, and this has the what they call the Proffie-like soundboard on the inside, and this too is also an excellent saber. So, all in all, I've come across 5 Crimson Dawn sabers, and I currently have 3 still. So, just like I did with my thoughts on Saber Trio, I have broken down my analysis into 3 major categories. 1 being quality, 2 being customer service, and 3 being value, which also includes the price. And there's subcategories in each of those. For instance, in customer service, I put in shipping and lead times, as well as communication, with the quality that puts in that covers parts, design, and again just overall quality of what's inside the saber. I will include links to all of these sabers that I have here currently in this video, which are the Proffie Shade, the Neo Shade, and the Antares. I'll include links in the bottom, and then periodically throughout the video, just go ahead and check up top here for the cards that swipe across. So, let's talk about quality. Now, I think I want to first just point out that Crimson Dawn, they are located in Texas, and they are an LGT reseller. And if you don't know what that is, LGT Studios is a Chinese-based company that pretty much makes assembly line sabers. They're not really custom. They're assembly line sabers, and you can buy them through AliExpress, which I hear is very cheap and affordable, but there's also these resellers, and the resellers are companies that purchase these sabers. Sometimes they hold a stock, other times they order as their orders come in on their site. And then what they do is they get them, they inspect them, they repack them, and then they ship them to the consumer. I think some prominent LGT resellers would be obviously Crimson Dawn, Dark Wolf Sabers, Rebel Sabers, Padawan Outpost. There are plenty of them out there, and they pretty much all sell the same thing, but each company has an exclusive hilt that is only offered by that one company. For instance, Rebel Sabers, they have a gorgeous saber called the Mystic Knight. They are the only ones that carry that saber. The Antares is only carried by Crimson Dawn. And let's say Dark Wolf, they have this one saber, gosh, I forgot the name of it, but it has 3 elongated windows along the emitter. It's a gorgeous hilt. I almost ordered one. I just haven't brought myself to do it yet. But anyway, they each have an exclusive hilt, but they all have some of the same standard ones, like this one, the Shade. They may call them all a different name, but it's all the same saber, all the same hilt. So when it comes to quality, first off, they're all what I consider to be more in the budget end of lightsabers. You can find most of their sabers under $200. And lately, the cores or the electronics that have been on the inside have been progressively updated and improving over time. Now, the hilts are all crafted out of aluminum, which is nice. So you're not going to get plastic parts or anything like that. In general, the hilts are fairly small. The outer diameters, I believe, are going to be 1.1 inch at the most. And the lengths are usually between 10 and maybe 12 inches. So they're not very big hilts, which for me is okay. It's great. Look, for instance, I made a staff out of the Shade here, but by themselves, they tend to be more comfortable as one-handed sabers, though they can be two hands. But they often give you heavy grade blades, and these are in fact heavy. So when you place this on your hilt, the balance point is going to be very high on the saber. Almost, actually, the balance point is on the blade, which for me personally, I don't particularly care for. And this is a 36-inch blade, and with a 36-inch blade, sorry, this is a 32-inch blade, so imagine a 36 is going to be even worse. But you would like your balance point to be at the top of the emitter, but as you see, I'm going to lose the saber right away. Even still, I'm losing it, and there we go. So my balance point is all the way into the blade here. And this is a NeoPixel blade. Now they offer mid-grade blades, and you can get those, and those are much better. So since we're talking about blades, I think the quality of their blades are very good. And I think Crimson Dawn has really established themselves as being a dueling or duel-worthy company. So if you're really into dueling, Crimson Dawn may be a good choice for you because the hilts are affordable and the blades are highly durable. Now, normally with NeoPixel, you don't want to duel with those blades just because when you're whacking too harshly, that LED strip in there has more vulnerability to be damaged. But I will say that with these heavy grade blades that they have, I mean, these suckers are tough. You can duel with these NeoPixel blades, which I think is awesome. If you can stand the weight, these are great to duel with. And check out my friend Forged by Light. He duels quite a bit with some Crimson Dawn sabers, so I encourage you to check out his channel and see some of those duels and how these blades hold up. Now, knowing that you get aluminum hilts, which is nice, you don't get a lot of variation. They're usually just one color. You don't see a lot of intricate designs in their hilts. I guess, for lack of a better word, they can tend to look cheap. But again, you're getting what you pay for. So if you want a more intricate, more highly detailed hilt, then LGT is not going to be a good fit for you. But they do have some designs that are less plain, like the Shade here. I mean, this is a very plain and basic saber, but the Antares has a little bit more of a character to it. So it's nice that they do offer that. The sabers and the hilts are all very comfortable. I've held 4 different sabers, and they've all been great in the hand, I have to say. They do utilize 2.1 millimeter recharge ports, illuminated AV switches. They're all illuminated red, so there's no other option of color there. As far as the weight goes, they're on average between 10 and 11 ounces, so they're not very heavy sabers or heavy hilts. Now let's get into the internals. This is the RGBX Eco Smooth Swing core. And with this, it's a one-piece design, and what's great about these sabers are you can purchase a core, whether it be a NeoPixel, Proffie, or their regular RGBX, and you can insert these in any hilt. So if you buy one core, and you can swap that out in a bunch of different hilts. If you don't have a lot of money and you want to just purchase a Proffie core, you can buy that and then just put that in all the different hilts. So I think that's a huge plus and advantage. Now I will say, when it comes to quality of this core, it's not the highest. I purchased this in December, in mid-December, and here we are in mid-March. I didn't use it that much, and this core already just doesn't work. I know Darth Paradigm had a similar issue with his, and he has quite a bit of LGT sabers, so I encourage you to check out Darth Paradigm's Illuminated Blades if you want a little bit more information on some of these different hilts. Check out his channel, and he can set you up with a lot of information on that. But he had a similar issue with his RGBX core as well. It just, you plug it in to charge it, it was making a lot of feedback and buzzing noises, and it just wouldn't power on. I tried swapping out the batteries, and still no bueno. So there are some flaws, and I feel like though the smooth swing on this, I mean, it's budget, so it's not the greatest, but it's better than a standard swing. However, I feel like they kind of rushed the production of this, and there's still some bugs and things. It's not reliable or trustworthy enough yet for my liking or my taste. I did already contact Crimson Dawn about this, and I'll get more on that when I get into the customer service section. But a con that I have is that because the diameter is so small, they only take 24 millimeter speakers. And me personally, I hear a noticeable difference between 24 millimeter and 28 millimeter. So here is a 24. It is a bass speaker, but it just doesn't quite have enough richness and depth in the sound just because the speaker is small. It's like you're working with all tweeters and no woofer. So that is a 24. Now, this is a Saberforge Exalted Mark I, installed with a CFX board, and this has a 28 millimeter bass speaker inside. Now, I'm not sure how well the recording is going to pick up as I'm recording this right now, but I can tell you from the naked ear, this sounds much better. Much more clarity, more depth in the sound, more richness. So, when it comes to quality of parts, yes, you are getting a bass speaker, but just know that anything from LGT is going to have a 24 millimeter speaker, and it's not going to be as robust and full and realistic as a 28 millimeter speaker. So that's one thing to keep in mind. When you look at the switches, like I said, they're all illuminated switches, so that's nice, and they're also 12 millimeter. People like illuminated AV switches. Me personally, like this saber here, I don't have an illuminated switch. I usually just prefer not to have them, but a lot of people do like those, and so that is a nice feature that you can get on all of the sabers, and that's standard, which is nice. Another thing else that comes with the quality is you get a 12 watt RGB baselit LED if you go with that route. So they are extremely bright. It's one of the brightest you can get on the market. Although later I'm going to do a comparison between 12 watt and 9 watt and see if there's really a noticeable difference. But people tend to like their sabers to be as bright as possible and know that these do come with 12 watt RGB LEDs, so that's a huge plus. If you go NeoPixel, then obviously you don't have that issue at all because you've got maximum brightness all the way up the blade. So which now brings me to the next thing, NeoPixel. This is a saber company that offers NeoPixel at an extremely affordable price. And when you look at the pins on the inside, and actually I'll grab this saber here since there's no blade in there. There are 8 pins in there. Usually standard you get 7 pins. Really nice sabers you'll get 11 pins. So you get 8 pins in these. The wires are exposed on the top, which I'm a little confused as to why they do that. Most companies are going to install the wire on the bottom side so you don't see it exposed at all. However, it's not in any danger of being damaged when you put a blade in there. Just be careful if the core is exposed by itself, that you're not, digging around with a tool or picking your fingers in there at the wires. So it's nice to have a company that can offer NeoPixel, and that seems to be the new industry standard. Smooth swing and NeoPixel. Those are things that everyone wants in a lightsaber, and if companies aren't providing that, it's a little less desirable. And I'm just going to leave some said companies aside on that. Some are adapting and evolving and keeping up with the new standard, and others are lagging behind. That's another video. One thing that's nice about Crimson Dawn is you can get extensions and accessories that will help you with the hilts. You can customize it with a different pommel, a different emitter, a different body section. You can do extensions. You can purchase blade plugs. One thing I think is great is now sometimes they include thumb screws. When I ordered this saber, I got 2 thumb screws to go with it, which was awesome because I prefer to use this thumb screw over this wrench. Overall, there's something to fit every style, although they do not have stunt sabers. So if you're a stunt saber kind of person, you're not going to find that in Crimson Dawn or any other LGT reseller. One thing that's kind of cool is when you order cores or parts that come in these little boxes here, and then they add their own little logo on the front, but every reseller will have this same box. And what's nice is when they pack it on the inside, there's a nice foam there to protect that core, and it's wrapped in paper to protect the battery and everything else. So that's solid. You get charging cable. When you get your blade, you do get dust caps on all of those, which I think is great. You also get a marketing card, which has their information on there. Tells you if you have issues with service, you can email them there. They have a phone number as well as their Facebook group. And then what's a huge plus about them is every saber you order will come with a little envelope that has an instruction card, the Allen wrench, possibly thumb screws, as well as all of the retention screws, extra retention screws that you might need for the saber, and additional screws for loosening and tightening the cores. So that's really nice to have. Something else too, the rechargeable lithium-ion batteries that they give you, they're good batteries. For the RGBX core, you get a 3000 mAh lithium-ion battery, which is great. Normally, I install my lightsabers with 3120, so to have 3000 on just a base lightsaber is really cool. Now, when you look at the Neo core and the Proffie batteries, for those you get 3600 mAh on those batteries, so that's really nice as well. Something else when it comes to quality, they offer Proffie, and many of us know that Proffie is the best, most customizable lightsaber board or soundboard that you can get on the market. A close second would be the CFX that I have in here. So having a company that offers a Proffie at an affordable price, I think, is a huge deal. And when you have top quality electronics or a soundboard, because that's the heart of everything. If you don't have a good soundboard, your swings, your fonts, all that stuff's not going to matter as much. So having a good heart to the electronics, which is the board, is going to be a huge plus. And now they've got this new Neo core, which has a soundboard that it acts just like a Proffie. It has an SD card that is customizable, but you just cannot alter or change the blade effects, but you can change the sound fonts or the blade styles. You can't change those. So it's nice to know that you can get a NeoPixel smooth swing customizable soundboard that acts like a Proffie without paying Proffie prices. Now I'm going to get into customer service. Now, Crimson Dawn is a company that started not too long ago, and they just took off. And I think when you start small and then everything just blows up, it's difficult to keep up with the influx of business that's coming in. But I think that they've been doing a very good job with trying to communicate. They have their Facebook group where they try to communicate things. They also got slammed with some storms, and then you've got they're at the mercy of China. So when they hit the Chinese New Year, their supplier wasn't supplying, so they weren't able to get orders out like they wanted to. So all of those things and combined, maybe they weren't operating as efficiently as when they first opened. However, you have to be patient, because even though they had a lot of back orders in their backlog, they were still getting orders out within a month. So I didn't have to wait more than 4 weeks for a saber. Now, there's a lot of other companies like Saberforge where you're probably going to wait you're going to wait 3-4 months, because their lead times are 12 to 15 weeks, I believe. Saber Trio, though they are quick, they still are going to take you about 4 weeks or more to get a saber out as well. At one point, their turnaround was you'd order a saber, the next day they'd ship it out, and you'd have that in less than a week. And actually, when I ordered this Neo Shade, I got this in 7 days, literally. I ordered it, they shipped it the next day, and I got it on the 7th day. But that's because it was in stock. And they're not building these. They come with the core and everything. They just pack it and they send it out to you. But even though they were backlogged and behind a lot of stuff, when I ordered my Shade, they included a coupon code for a free item and an apology letter, which I thought was very, very nice. And when you email them, they try to get back to you as quickly as they can, and they resolve your issues. Now, when I ordered a V1 Proffie Shade. It was a 2-button, and the auxiliary switch didn't work. So I contacted them, and I shipped it back. They reimbursed me for the shipping the same day through PayPal. No, I take that back. I'm thinking of Saber Trio. They reimbursed me because I purchased the Proffie Shade V2, and so they took the refund of the V1 core, and they took that off my Shade V2, so I pretty much paid half price for it. And it also saved time. I shipped them that, they shipped me the new saber, and they knocked the price off. So I didn't have to sit around and wait, send them, wait, and then get another saber. It all just happened at once, which was great. Omega, forgot his name, forgive me, but he's a cool guy, and he tries to be transparent and put videos, and they have a YouTube channel as well, but you can find better reviews and operation of the sabers from other people, other YouTubers, so I encourage you to check that out. But please, get it from the horse's mouth, but know that you might get a more thorough review from other channels. That's, I don't feel like they're struggling to have a problem with customer service, and they're very friendly, and they try to do their best to make sure that we're satisfied customers. Next is value. I think the price for what you're getting is extremely affordable. I think when I bought this Antares, it was $109, very cheap, and it came with the RGBX smooth swing board. So getting a nice quality saber like this for only basically $110, that was great. And then I ended up getting a Proffie core, put that in here, and now I've got more of a high-end saber that I only paid $100 for. So that was nice. Then I got the Neo Shade here. This one, I got it on sale for $160. Now it's up to $189, but I got it for $160, and this acts just like a Proffie with NeoPixel, and came with a heavy grade blade, NeoPixel blade, for $160. I mean, that's awesome to get all that stuff just for $160. I mean, you can't beat that. I did say that the Pock Store Flight is the best budget saber, and I still stand by that for the price because I got it for $99. Now, when it's in stock, I believe it's up to 140 or 160, something like that. So would I say Shade over the Flight? Yeah, maybe, just because this is you know, more customizable, and it's NeoPixel, where the Flight is baselit. This is a huge value for what you're getting in the price. I mean, I can't think of anything else that can top that at this time in spring of 2021. And then you also have the Proffie option. And I think it's very cool that you've got a pommel that also acts as a coupler, so you can make a staff. So I have a video on that as well. Please, you know, check that out up top. So overall, I think Crimson Dawn is a good company, and I think of all of the LGT resellers, they're probably my favorite. And what's nice about their website is the way they have it. It's very clear and easy to navigate. Dark Wolf, they're also another LGT reseller, but their website is not as polished and easy to navigate as Crimson Dawn is. And what's really cool is they added a new section on their site. Since they've been so, you know, backed up with all their orders and things like that, they actually created a section that has sabers that are ready to ship. So if you want a saber like right now, just click on that tab and it'll show you all the sabers that are in stock, ready to ship at that moment, which I think is great. So you don't have to worry about the lead time or the wait time, because you know when you click that, it's ready to ship. The other ones, even still, even though you're waiting, it's not going to be more than 3 to 5 weeks, which I think is still very good for lightsaber companies. So just, you will learn patience.
The boy has no patience.
You will learn patience.
You just have to learn patience when it comes to lightsabers and things like that when you order. So overall, I think that Crimson Dawn is a good company. I have 3 sabers from them, and if they come out with another new hilt that I like, sure, I'll order another one. I will say though that the RGBX core, I can't really get behind much anymore. I just think it has too many flaws at this time, and maybe as they get more time to develop it, if they have a V2 version of the RGBX, then maybe I'll get behind that more. But at this time, I just don't think that it's reliable enough of electronics. But the Neo core, I'm behind that 100%. I was really impressed by that when I fired it up for the first time, and then getting affordable Proffie sabers, that's huge too. The only setback, like I said, are you only get 24mm speakers, and there's no CoverTech wheels. So if you want that, I think you can get it as, you can drill your own, but they don't really have CoverTech wheel options. I think you can get a pommel with a D-ring on there, but that might be Vire sabers. I'm not sure if Crimson Dawn offers that as well. But if you're interested in just kind of diving into doing your own thing, you know, just swapping out cores or being able to customize your own hilt by sanding it, weathering it, or adding wraps, things like that, Crimson Dawn is a great way to go. If you're looking for a first saber, look at Crimson Dawn. So if you have any questions or any comments or thoughts to what I said here, or just want to kind of add your own spin on your experience with Crimson Dawn, please share that in the comments down below. We would all like to see that. I always do my best to try to respond to all the comments down below, or at least acknowledge them with a like or a heart, just to let you know that I read it and I appreciate your comment. So thank you very much for watching and listening to me ramble on again with another video. I try to keep these short, but you know, there's just too much information to share about these things. And if there's anything I missed, again, just pop that question down below and I'll be more than happy to try to answer anything that I can. I'm going to do some videos here in the future that feature all of the 22 sound fonts that come on these hilts. And I almost forgot. That's another thing that happens with quality. You've got 22 sound fonts on these sabers, all from Kyberphonic and Kasith, which for me are my top 2 favorite font engineers in the industry. So that's another plus to go behind Crimson Dawn. Anyway, I'm done. Thank you very much for watching, and may the Force be with you.